Our beliefs either empower us or unpower us. The research behind it, the average person has over 60,000 thoughts a day. Did you know you thought that much? I know I didn't. And 95% are redundant. In other words, the thought I had last week is the same thought I have this week, is the same thought I'm going to have again next week. We could go on autopilot for 95% of the time and be ahead of this, right? And here's the sad part, 80% are negative unless we're mindful. So it's so important we're mindful, and we're wired that way. It's not that we're trying to be negative people, it's back from how we're, from dinosaur days, fight or flight. We're always looking for what could possibly hurt us. So we want to change those thought patterns. We want to change those thoughts. I've always been interested in what makes us tick and how to be happier and live a more successful life. And I read a ton of books. And a lot of it is on reprogramming and helping us lead the life we want to lead. Well, I'm going to bring some farm into here. I grew up on a farm in North Dakota, as I mentioned, and we had dairy cattle. Anybody familiar with dairy cattle? Right? The cows would come home, and for people who think animals don't have a clock, I think they do. Because our cows would come home, they'd be home at 4 p.m. every day, and one would follow after the other, and they would wear these deep grooves in the pasture. And it would, after a while, get so deep we couldn't even navigate through it. We'd have to actually fence it off so we could drive in the pasture. And then initially, you would see the cows, and there would be like a path here and a little path here, and they're kind of scattered until another groove started happening, and they would follow each other again. And that is how we think. We get into the same thought paths, we find the same grooves, we fall into that rut, as we call it, and we go down the same path over and over. And when we want to change, we want to try something new, initially it's very different. And we kind of scatter, we try this, and nothing really feels natural until we make that new groove in. So we can create new thought paths that are more positive. We change our focus, we change our path.